So here's a question for you. In an era of declining church attendance, how do you grow your church and advance your mission? Well, one key is this: you turn ordinary attendees into passionate champions of the mission. And in this video, I'm going to share 7 strategies you can use to accomplish exactly that. And before you beat me to it, yes, I know only God can bring growth, but He uses people who are engaged to do it. So let's dive into it. Here are 7 ways to grow engagement in your church. Number 1, challenge people to serve. So people who serve in the mission are the people who are engaged in the mission. And I know this is near heresy in some circles, but encouraging people to volunteer may actually be more important than encouraging them to join a small group. At Connexus, which I'm a part of, we find that our healthiest people are not those who are in groups. They're those who serve. I mean, people who serve, as a rule, they get the mission. They're on mission and they love the mission. Our goal is to get everyone into a group, but doing only group can lead people to become sort of self-centered. And in the same way that, sitting in a back row and not engaging in the mission is a bit of a selfish approach for a long-term Christian, groups can end up being about you, whereas serving is almost never about you. I still think everyone should be in a group, but if a group is all you do as a Christian, it can feed into this consumer frenzy that is North American culture. And if you need to improve your volunteer culture, I have specific training material on that topic I'll link to in the description of this video. All right, that's the first thing. Get people to serve. Number 2, provide a clear path toward involvement. The challenge for many people who participate in the congregation is that they don't know what to do to get involved. Church websites can be fuzzy about next steps, so can church leaders. Often during services, we list 12 things people can do to get more engaged in their faith and their mission. But here's something that studies have proven over and over again. Faced with too many choices, most people choose nothing. The clearer and simpler the path toward engagement is, the more people will travel it. Again, at Connexus, where I serve, we organized our lobby a few years ago, ditching the welcome desk for 2 simple kiosks. Now we have a New Here kiosk and a Next Steps kiosk. So at New Here, we welcome new people. And Next Steps, that's where we train people to be like a concierge. And they can meet new people and say, well, what's your next step? Do you need to be baptized, join a group, serve, give? What do you need to do? So, it's a great way to approach things. And at every level, we try to take the confusion away and simply help people engage. We also try to make our language from the front clear and direct. All right, 3rd principle, focus all programs around your mission. Years ago, we dumped a program-based church model. And the bottom line of that program-based model was, if you can dream it, we'll do it. And then we embraced a much simpler model. Why? Well, as I mentioned earlier, we moved to a simpler model because when you give people too many choices, people choose nothing. But we also changed it because we realize that what people are involved in becomes the mission. So if you have a lot of off-mission programs like the Quilting Club or the Men Who Eat Bear Meat Fellowship or whatever, right, you'll have a hard time focusing people on what you really want them to do. They're passionate about their ministries, but not the ministry. And that's the problem. Too many Christians get passionate about their mission, not the mission. So if you want people to be passionate about the central mission of your church, only do programming that directly advances the central mission. When you say no to 100 other missions, you say yes to the most important mission. All right, point number 4, make it uncomfortable to stay disengaged. I know it sounds harsh, but hear me out for a second. People conform to expectations. For example, if you tell a child, and some of you have had this experience in your childhood, that they'll never amount to anything, that child will likely give up on the dream of college. But tell a child she can persevere and accomplish the tasks ahead of her, and she probably will. People rise and descend to the levels of our expectations. And the same is true for congregations. When you don't expect people to do more than attend your church, don't be surprised if all they do is attend your church. But if you craft a culture through your words, like calls to action on a Sunday, calls to action in all of your communications, where you tell people, hey, we expect you to serve, join a group, bring a friend, and give generously, well, they'll tend to do it. All right, number 5, preach action, not knowledge. Preachers have this incredible 20 to 40 minute window with which to speak into people's lives every week. So you can use that to give people information, or you can use it to call people to action. Now, the second is way better. Not that you need to hammer people every week, but with your words, you can make it clear that the goal of the Christian faith is not to know something, but to do something with what you know. So if you continue to talk about how to get involved and join the mission, providing clear action steps and opportunities to do so, eventually more people will engage it. If you don't, they won't. So I would say, do it. 6th thing you can do, use active language. We've had a simple model of church at Connexus since we started, but rethinking the language can really help. So here's the background. For years, we use 4 single words to explain our simple model of ministry and calling people to action. We called it connect, serve, invite, and give. Connecting is for groups, serving to volunteer, invite to invite a friend, and give to donate. However, we realized that those words maybe weren't connecting with the congregation and visitors, so we unveiled some new language to convey the same thing. We've added a 5th step because we're seeing so many new people. We're moving to a more active language designed to drive action and engagement. So, become a Christian, that's new, but it's clear, right? And what is it saying? It's taking an action step, become a Christian. Join the mission. Join the mission is the new serve. Bring a friend. That's the new invite. Choose community replaces connect. And give generously replaces give. So you see, by just changing the language a little bit, it rolls off the tongue a little more naturally, and it paints a clear outcome toward deeper engagement with the mission than the old language did. See, because we imagine a day where hundreds more people become Christians, join the mission, bring friends, choose community, and give generously. That kind of action changes cities. Whatever language you use, make sure it conveys the outcome that you see and that you're longing for. All right, then number 7, reward progress. However you define increased engagement, reward it whenever you see it. So how do you do that? Well, start with this. Celebrate it publicly. Sometimes church leaders are great at asking, but not reporting back after. If you ask for volunteers, and let's say you get 75 new volunteers, make a point of celebrating it next weekend. Tell some stories, shoot some video, thank people. Ditto when people give generously or bring a friend, or when 100 new people join a community group. Pretend it's baptism Sunday without the water and just celebrate. All right, so you want to publicly celebrate. Second, you want to affirm it privately. When you see someone jump in, put your hand on their shoulder, thank them. Mention it when you talk to them in the foyer, thank them in the next email when you send them an email, or send them a handwritten note and just say thank you and tell them specifically what they did. All right, 3rd thing, celebrate with your key leaders. Senior leaders can easily fall into the trap of rewarding attendance, not engagement. And attendance is great, but to increase engagement, start celebrating how many new people signed up rather than how many people showed up. And when you talk about steps, celebrate when people take them. And tell people that great things are happening in your organization. Staff and key volunteers need to know when they're winning, so you need to help them see it. Signing up is better than showing up. And remember, as a leader, what you celebrate matters. As Andy Stanley has said so many times, what you celebrate gets repeated. If you want more on engagement, attendance, and church growth, I have a free Church Growth Accelerator program you can get instant access to. Here's what it includes. First, an assessment to help you identify the unique opportunities and barriers that your church is facing. Second, it has training videos to provide strategies and insights that lead to church growth. And finally, application steps to create an action plan for your future. In just a few hours, you can develop actionable steps to grow your church and impact your community. Check out the link in the description or simply visit churchgrowthaccelerator.com. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button, leave a comment below, and share it with another church leader you think would find it helpful. And if you want more, be sure to subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and I can't wait to see you again soon.